Good morning. Good morning, and welcome to Daily Scriptures. This is June 3rd. We're going to begin in 1 Kings 15. In the 18th year of King Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, Abijam became king over Judah. He reigned 3 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Maacah, the granddaughter of Absalom, and he walked in all the sins of his father, which he had done before him. His heart was not loyal to the Lord his God, as was the heart of his father David. Nevertheless, for David's sake, the Lord his God gave him a lamp in Jerusalem, by setting up his son after him, and by establishing Jerusalem, because David did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, and had not turned aside from anything that he had commanded him in all the days of his life, except for the matter of Uriah the Hittite. And there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all the days of his life. Now the rest of the acts of Abijam, and all that he did, are not written in the book of the Chronicles of Kings of Judah. And there was war between Abijam and Jeroboam. So Abijam rested with his fathers, and they buried him in the city of David. Then Asa, his son, reigned in his place. In the 20th year of Jeroboam, king of Israel, Asa became king over Judah, and he reigned 41 years in Jerusalem. His grandmother's name was Maacah, the granddaughter of Absalom. Asa did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, as did his father David, and he banished the perverted persons from the land, and removed all the idols that his father had made. Also he removed Maacah his grandmother from being queen mother, because she had made an obscene image of Ashereth, and Asa cut down her obscene image and burned it in the brook of Kidron. But the high places were not removed. Nevertheless, Asa's heart was loyal to the Lord all his days. He also brought into the house of the Lord the things which his father had dedicated, and the things which he himself had dedicated, silver, gold, and utensils. Now there was war between Asa and Baasha king of Israel all their days. And Baasha king of Israel came up against Judah and built Ramah, and he might let none go out or come in to Asa king of Judah. Then Asa took all the silver and gold that was left in the treasury of the house of the Lord, and the treasuries of the king's house, and delivered them into the hands of his servants. And King Asa sent at them to Benhadad, the son of Tibron, the son of Hezon, king of Syria, who dwelt in Damascus, saying, Let there be a treaty between you and me, as there was between my father and your father. See, I have sent you a present of silver and gold. Come and break your treaty with Baasha king of Israel, so that he will withdraw from me. So Benhadad heeded King Asa, and sent captains of his armies against the cities of Israel. He attacked Dan, Abel Beth, Maacah, and all Chinneroth, with all the land of Naphtali. Now it happened, when Baasha heard it, he stopped building Ramah and remained in Tisra. Then King Asa made a proclamation throughout all Judah. None was exempted. And they took away the stones and timber of Ramah, which Baasha had used for building. With them King Asa built Geba of Benjamin and Mitzpah. The rest of the acts of Asa and his might, all that he did, and the cities which he built, are not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah. But in the time of his old age, he was diseased in his feet. So Asa rested with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David, his father. Then Jehoshaphat, his son, reigned in his place. Now Nadab, the son of Jeroboam, became king over Israel in the 2nd year of Asa, king of Judah. And he reigned over Israel 2 years. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord, and walked in the way of his father, and in his sin by which he had made Israel sin. Then Baasha, king of the house of Ishkar, conspired against him, and Baasha killed him in Gibbethon, which belonged to the Philistines. While Nadab and all Israel laid siege to Gibbethon, Baasha killed him in the 3rd year of Asa, king of Judah, and reigned in his place. And it was so, when he became king, that he killed all the house of Jeroboam. He did not leave to Jeroboam anyone that breathed until he had destroyed him, according to the word of the Lord, which he had spoken by his servant Ahijah the Shilonite, because the sins of Jeroboam which he had sinned, and by which he had made Israel sin, because of this provocation with which he had provoked the Lord, with which he had provoked the Lord God of Israel to anger. Now the rest of the acts of Nadab and all that he did are not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel. And there was war between Asa and Baasha, king of Israel, all their days. Then the 3rd year of Asa, king of Judah, Baasha the son of Ahijah became king over Israel in Tirzah, and reigned 24 years. He did evil in the sight of the Lord, and walked in the way of Jeroboam, and in his sin by which he had made Israel sin. Then the word of the Lord came to Jehu the son of Hanani, against Baasha, saying, Inasmuch as I have lifted you out of the dust, and made you ruler over my people, Israel, you have walked in the way of Jeroboam, and have made my people Israel sin, to provoke me to anger with their sins. Surely I will take away the posterity of Baasha and the posterity of his house, and I will make your house like the house of Jeroboam son of Nebat. The dogs shall eat whoever belongs to Baasha and dies in the city, and the birds of the air eat whoever dies in the fields. Now the rest of the acts of Baasha, what he did and his might, are not written in the book of Chronicles of Kings of Israel. So Baasha rested with his fathers and was buried in Tirzah. Then Elah his son reigned in his place. And also the word of the Lord came by the prophet Jehu the son of Hanani against Baasha and his house, because all the evil that he did in the sight of the Lord, in provoking him to anger with the work of his hands, and by like the house of Jeroboam, because he killed them. In the 26th year of Asa, king of Judah, Elah the son of Baasha became king over Israel, and reigned 2 years in Tirzah. Now his servant Zimri, commander of half his chariots, conspired against him as he was in Tirzah, drinking himself drunk in the house of Erzah, steward of his house in Tirzah. And Zimri went in and struck him and killed him the 27th year of Asa, king of Judah, and reigned in his place. And it came to pass, when he began to reign, as soon as he was seated on his throne, that he killed all the household of Baasha. He did not leave him one male, neither his relatives nor his friends, neither his relatives nor of his friends. Then Zimri destroyed all the household of Baasha, according to the word of the Lord, which he spoke against Baasha by Jehu the prophet. For all the sins of Baasha, the sins of Elah his son, by which they all sinned, and by which they had made Israel sin, by provoking the Lord God of Israel to anger with his idols. Now the rest of the acts of Elah, of which he did, are not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel. In the 27th year of Asa king of Judah, Zimri had reigned in Tirzah 7 days, and the people were encamped against Gibbethon, which belonged to the Philistines. Now the people who were encamped heard it and said, Zimri has conspired and also had killed the king. So all Israel made Amri the commander of the army, king over Israel that day in the camp. And Omri and all Israel with him went up from Gibbethon and besieged Tirzah. And it happened when Zimri saw that the city was taken, that he went into the citadel of the king's house and burned the king's house down upon himself with fire and died, because of sins of which he had committed in doing evil in the sight of the Lord, and in walking in the way of Jeroboam, and in his sin which he had committed to make Israel sin. Now the rest of the acts of Zimri and the treason he committed, they are not written in the book of Chronicles of the kings of Israel. Then the people of Israel were divided into 2 parts. Half of the people followed Tibni the son of Gidnath to make him king, and half followed Omri, that the people who followed Omri prevailed over the people who followed Tibni and the son of Gidnath. So Tibni died, and Omri reigned. In the 31st year of Asa king over Judah, Omri became king over Israel and reigned 12 years. 6 years he reigned in Tirzah, and he bought the hill of Samaria from Shimmer for 2 talents of silver. Then he built on the hill and called the name of the city which he built Samaria, after the name of Shimmer, owner of the hill. Omri did evil in the eyes of the Lord, and did worse than all the who were before him. For he walked in the ways of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, and in his sin by which he made Israel sin, provoking the Lord God of Israel to anger with their idols. Now the rest of the acts of Omri, which he did, and the might that he showed, are not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel. So Omri rested with his fathers and was buried in Samaria. Then Ahab, his son, reigned in his place. In the 38th year of Asa king of Judah, Ahab the son of Omri became king over Israel, and Ahab the son of Omri reigned over Israel in Samaria 22 years. Now Ahab the son of Omri did evil in the sight of the Lord, more than all that were before him. And it came to pass, as though it had been a trivial thing for him to walk in the sons of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, that he took his wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ethbaal, king of the Sidonians, and he went and served Baal and worshipped him. Then he set up an altar for Baal in the temple of Baal, which he had built in Samaria. And Ahab made a wooden image. Ahab did more to provoke the Lord God of Israel to anger than all the kings of Israel who had come before him. And in the days of Hiel of Bethel built Jericho. He laid its foundation with Abiram, his firstborn, and with his youngest son Segub. He set up its gates, and according to the word of the Lord which he had spoken through Joshua the son of Nun. Psalm 69, 22-28. Now their table became a snare before them, and their well-being a trap. Let their eyes be darkened so that they do not see, and make their loins shake continually. Pour out their indignation upon them, and let your wrathful anger take hold of them. Let their dwelling place be desolate. Let no one live in their tents, for they pursue or persecute the ones you have struck, and talk of the grief of those you have wounded. Add iniquity to their iniquity, and let them not come into your righteousness. Let them be blotted out of the book of the living, and not be written with the righteous. Proverbs 17, 25 and 26. A foolish son is a grief to his father, and bitterness to her who bore him. Also, to punish the righteous is not good, nor to strike princes for their uprightness. John 13, verse 1-20. Now, before the feast of Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour had come, and that he should depart from this world to the Father, having loved his own who were in the world, but he loved them to the end. And supper had ended, and supper being ended, the devil, having already put it in the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was going to God, rose from supper and laid aside his garments and took a towel and girded himself. After that, he poured water in a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet, and to wipe them with the towel which he had was girded. Then he came to Simon Peter, and Peter said to him, Lord, are you washing my feet? Jesus answered and said to him, what I am doing you do not understand now, but you will know after this. Peter said to him, you shall never wash my feet. And Jesus answered and said, if I do not wash you, you will have no part with me. And Simon said to him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. Jesus said to him, he who's bathed needs only to wash. Jesus said to him, he who is bathed needs only to wash his feet, but is completely clean, and you are clean. But not all of you. For he who would betray him, therefore he said, you are not all clean. So when he had washed their feet, taken his garments, and sat down again, he said to them, do you know what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you say, well, for so I am. If I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example, that you should do as I have done to you. Most assuredly, I say to you, a servant is not greater than his master, nor is he one who has sent greater than he who sent me. If you know these things, blessed are you if you do them. Thank you, folks, and we'll see you tomorrow.